And the other thing I wanted to ask you guys about actually was CBDCs, which is something that started to be spoken about a lot recently. Which again, I have no idea about. I don't know if you guys have got any views on how safe these things are. Are they really decentralized, or can they also be controlled? Are you still in control with those things?
I don't think so.
Yeah, good question.
What do you think, Adam? Because I don't. If it's decentralized, I'm far happier. But if it's centralized, it's all about control, isn't it? It's all about knowing everything you do. And if it's controlled by them, if it's controlled by the government, and then good luck.
Yeah. And I saw recently, I was reading an article a couple of days ago where I think gold was almost at its highest value in a very long time. Would that be right? Is it pretty high at the moment?
It's not far.
And
gold's gone up.
And I've also been hearing things about currencies returning to the gold standard. I mean, would that if that happens, would that make a difference to the price of gold?
There's a few elements to that. So I think whenever there's a demand for something, then typically the price would go up. And I think what you've got to look at with gold is it's a limited resource. So some mining experts say there's 30 years left of mineable gold in the earth. They're all estimates. So, 25, 30 years. What we do know is that it can't last forever. So at some point, the shortage is going to be felt. It's going to be more expensive to mine metals out of the ground. That means if mining companies, it's costing them more, then they're not going to sell metals at a loss. So that's going to kind of keep the price up. As far as gold-backed currencies, we don't know for sure. We hear a lot of information about different ideas. But for us, we have to just be careful that we're dealing in the here and now, because there's a lot of, as we've seen over the last few years, a lot of things get thrown around. Sometimes they do happen, sometimes they don't, or sometimes they happen, but not in the way everyone thought they would. So when we're talking to people, we just say, look, this is what metals have done in the past. This is how they performed in the past. We know that's a given. We never really try and predict price in the future or anything like that.
Has gold ever taken a really big hit in the past and had like a big drop, a big sudden drop? Like similar to what happened to Bitcoin and stuff like that, where it just goes and plummets. Has that ever happened to gold, or has it been fairly stable?
Compared to Bitcoin, it's been fairly stable. I guess it's all relative, isn't it?
But it doesn't shoot up like Bitcoin, though, does it?
Yeah. It's more stable, more consistent in its performance.
It's not volatile.
Yeah. I mean, I personally believe that currencies will be backed again by metals, But like Adam said, we just don't know for sure. None of us do. There's very few people who do know, and the people that do know aren't allowed to say anything. They have to keep it to themselves. But we just say, look, just keep it simple. Keep it simple. What do you feel safer? Do you feel safer having currency in a bank where your savings are on the bank's balance sheet? They're not on yours. They're on the banks. Yeah. Do you feel safer having your life savings that you rely on to feed your family? Do you feel safer having it in a bank where they can just freeze your account and take it off you? Or do you feel safer having it in precious metals outside of the banking system? And also, when your savings is in currency in a bank, they're lending from your money. They're lending from it. They make absolutely gazillions from your money. They make more zeros than what you'd ever believe. And they give you scraps on the table. And then you're getting hammered by inflation. You get hammered by tax when you do make anything. So get it out of that system. Get it out of the system as quick as possible. Get it in metals. So you control it. No one's lending from it. You're protected from inflation, protected from the banks and the system. Yeah. And you're heading in the right direction at least, aren't you?
Calling all US citizens. Check out the link in the description to get your free Goldbusters ebook.